Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dropped Frames Co. What episode are we on?
2713.
2713. Are you at least going up every week? Is that?
Up by one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, yeah, by one. That's what you do when you add one more show. Yeah.
Yeah. Another show, another number. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Anyways, what's going on, guys? How's it going? Co, you were whose heart were you stuck in? Or is that a spoiler?
I am sorry, everybody. We are late because of me.
I mean,
that's because,
I said, it literally doesn't matter. We're 5 minutes late. Who cares?
Oh, that's good. But yeah, so I basically around noon is when I went back into the dungeon after getting the treasure discovered. This is palace number 3, Karashiro, the bank guy, and I went back in.
It's Kanashiro.
I went back.
God.
I know, right? But yeah, so I went back in and I was like, let me just knock the boss out real quick, and then I'm gonna do the little end things, and then I'll be done by 12:30, right? No problem, and that'll be plenty of time. Yeah. So after wiping on the boss a few times and then realizing it's a multi-phase fight, I did finally beat it, and then was greeted by like 25 minutes of cutscenes, which I should have anticipated, to be honest, but I didn't think about it. So yeah, that was totally my bad.
Well, it seems like you're enjoying it, though.
I am enjoying it so much more than I thought I would. It's kind of crazy. Like I already know I'm going to finish it. It's become a lot of fun. I've kind of become engrossed by the mechanics and the Persona stuff, and like basically a good way to think about it is, I realized that I kind of had fallen into the trap when I started realizing that I was thinking like end game before I was even at the mid game. So, I just entered Palace 3, but what I did is I was like, well, let me see how far I can take this. So between Palace 2 and 3, I went into Mementos. I then farmed in there for like hours, came out with over 200K, already had Takami with the discount. So by the time I went into the third palace, every one of my guys had the SP3 bangle. So in other words, I just had like unlimited SP. Nice. So I went into the third palace, cleared the whole thing in one go, and then just like, it's just, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm kind of excited to see where it's going to go, because it's just now getting to the point where I'm starting to kind of understand the mechanics, and I'm getting the mid game down when I'm not in fighting, and the min maxing aspect has been really interesting, and it's a big game, and I like big game.
Close your eyes for a second. Zeke, put out fingers on how many dungeons there are. Tell me how many dungeons there are, Zeke. Oh, did that really just freeze everything? Code closed his eyes and the entire thing froze.
Are we good?
That's okay. Remarkable. Well, Zeke's just not even here. He's just kind of hanging out. I don't know what he's doing. I just like how
he frozen.
Yeah,
I think he's frozen.
He is, but I just think that's perfect.
Wait, did he blink?
I don't know. I can't tell.
He's frozen. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just messaged me. Are you back?
Yep.
Oh man, that was like beautiful. Closed his eyes and the show just went like, it just died, and I'm just here by myself.
Wait a minute, Co was gone too?
No. I told Co.
Awkward moment.
Yeah, I said, Co, close your eyes. He closed his eyes. I said, Zeke, hold up how many fingers there are in terms of palaces in the fucking world. And then you were just like this.
We all just sat here in silence.
You just had this on your face.
No, my internet went down completely. Like it hiccups from time to time, and it just shuts down everything.
Okay.
So sorry about that.
Well, let's do this again. Co, close your eyes, because I want to know how many dungeons there are. How many hold up your hands, your fingers, Zeke. How many dungeons do you go into? Story dungeons. You don't. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's.
I'm just trying to get a sense of how far Co is along in the game.
Well, so I'll say this. I am 45 hours into the game. I just completed Palace 3, and I have been told by most folks that I'm not even halfway. Like, I'm not even... Like, the finish line is not even partially in view.
That makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean, do you want a percentage?
No, I don't care. It doesn't.
Okay.
It's not. I don't consider percentage through a game a spoiler, to be honest. So I mean,
Okay.
if you guys want to talk about it, that's fine with me. And I'll be blunt. Like, I've been playing this game out of sub mode, so
It's hard, yeah.
I've had to turn on sub mode a few times when it's gotten really bad with people spoiling. In fact, I even had like at one point we had a spoiler sub. We've had
Jeez.
multiple spoiler usernames.
That sucks.
So that's been fun. That's been fun. But it's the kind of thing where, and I feel the same way about this game as I do Fallout 4. I might know the ending of the game. I don't care. It is a zero concern to me, because here's the thing: I've read multiple spoilers over the last couple days, and what's great is I'm pretty sure I have someone in my community who is trying to what I call good guy spoil. And what I mean by that is every so often I'll catch someone spoiling,
yeah.
and then I'll catch someone else saying the exact opposite. So I'm pretty
Nice.
sure that I have like a white knight spoil guy somewhere in my chat.
Nice.
And anytime he sees someone come in who's like, hey, the end guy is that guy. Then he comes in like 5 minutes later. He's like, the last boss is Anne.
I like it. I like it.
Remember,
It's
your
not
character,
on, but
your
yeah.
character both dies, stays alive, and is sick at the end of the game.
I like it.
Well,
Everyone
I'll tell you
survives,
this.
but everyone dies.
I watched Zeke play the end of the game, and I don't think you can actually spoil the end of the game because,
And that's what I was just gonna say.
yeah, yeah.
It's very JRPG in that like it gets wacky. Like it gets, I mean, not wacky, but like there's a lot of shit that it'd be very difficult to like give away.
It would be
So-
like this. It's like 4 hours of spoilers. Like it's not.
also,
yeah.
At my point in this game, there's an unknown person, and what's hilarious is I've been told that unknown person is every single character in the game.
That was my doing.
So, yeah, thank you for that. If that's the case,
No, that was my doing because I said because there's like things that go around, and I said if you're gonna be watching Ko do this, confuse the issue, like make it anybody.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm even convinced one of the people that had the weird usernames was trying to troll a spoiler. Like
Yeah.
it's not actually like it's at this point it's like whatever happens, I'm gonna be happy. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't care. And when you're talking about a game that's over 100 hours, it's so much more about the journey than it is, the 5 to 10 seconds you experience a big drop. Like that, at this point, it's like Fallout 4 to me. I still love Fallout 4, even though literally after 15 minutes of playing it, I had the entire ending spoiled to me. I read an entire
I
paragraph
remember that.
detailing the. In fact, yeah, JP, I think you were in the channel when it happened. I read out a paragraph, and you could see me on stream, like reading it silently to myself. And then when I finished it, I was like, oh, well, that's how this game ends.
Yeah.
Cool, that's good. Anyway, let's keep playing, and I did, and I enjoyed the whole rest of it. Like, whatever. So, yeah, I mean, it's how getting spoiled and how you treat spoilers is kind of a big deal. So, and I honestly think that a lot of times that people spoil specifically to get that huge angry rise out of us.
Without a doubt.
So, and a lot of times, there's streamers that will give that large angry rise. But for me, and it's like, oh, cool, you told me the end of the game. Oh, well, thanks for watching, because you're in here watching, and enjoy the rest of the playthrough, because I'm going to keep playing it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
It's cool, and I'm still having fun. So, yeah, whatever.
No, it's definitely something that you kind of have to come to grips with being a streamer. Like if you want to not be spoiled at a game, you have to actively avoid spoilers, and you can't play it on your stream. Like if it's something that has like twists and turns and shit like that, like
Or you have to be the
really
first to
want
play it.
not be spoiled, you can't play it on your stream.
You really want exactly,
or
If you
be
wanna-
the
if you
first
wanna
to
not
play
be
it.
spoiled, you can't play it on stream. You have to be the first to play it, or you don't tell anyone that you're playing it and you play it off stream. But I mean, it's the kind of thing also these days where if someone wants to spoil it for you, they're going to spoil it. Like it's gonna happen. And if you're a streamer, it's just one of those things where acceptance is kind of a big. Like I've kind of, and I'm sure you two have too. I've just kind of accepted that any game that comes out before I stream it, there's a good chance I'm going to get spoiled at the end. Period. If someone else has beaten it, I'm probably going to know the end before it.
Yep.
I'm just fine with that. Whatever.
Yeah,
Not a big deal.
that happened with it extends outside of our medium too, because that happened with Star Wars in December. where Disney like tried their fucking hardest to make sure none of those spoilers got out. And then I guess like the day before, some of them did get out. And then all day long on Twitch, it was just nonstop paragraph spoilers of the entire movie. So that sucked. But it's like, well, I know that's going to happen, but I don't know why. I don't know how. So I'm still going to go see the movie. It's not going to spoil my experience, etc. So I'm right there with you. It just sucks. You kind of have to accept that for sure.
One of the most, like, when Fallout 4 came out, I think I might have said this when Fallout 4 came out. One of the most like infuriatingly, like I couldn't be mad at it because it was so like, that's pretty clever. I got invited to a fucking Steam group.
Oh,
like, with
nice.
a fucking spoiler in the name. It was like, like, you have been invited to Darth Vader is Luke's dad Steam group. Like, oh, motherfucker.
Jesus.
That's pretty good, but man, fuck you.
That's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I guess the next big spoiler game will be God of War, as that's got that April release date. So that'll probably be the one that we'll have to fucking dodge all day. Just accept.
I have to say though, talking about spoilers though, it really makes me appreciate games like The Witcher, especially Witcher 3, because you can't spoil the ending of Witcher 3. Because how you like everything you do up until the end, you basically it's kind of like a choose your own ending instead of a getting spoiled kind of thing, based on how you played and how much time you put into it. So very cool when games do that. But yeah, obviously not feasible in most mediums. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Well, getting back to Persona, do you have your sights set on a baby yet? On a waifu?
Okay. So my favorite waifu so far, I have to say, is Plant Waifu, the plant in my house. I feel like he is probably the
plant.
He is probably the most level-headed and frankly righteous, chivalrous. No, in terms of actual waifus, I like Anne. I like Makoto. Dude, oh my god. Okay, now in talking about spoilers, one thing did not get spoiled for me, and honestly, it was one of my favorite parts of the game so far, and that was that was the maid part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, man. What's hilarious is I sat there with my chat because like the whole thing was just so ridiculous. And I'm sitting there with my chat and I'm like, okay, chat, it's gotta be one of these. It's gonna be this, or this, right? It's gotta be one of these. Let's just see which one it is. And I completely missed the bus. And when I realized what was going on, and the way I realized it was because one of the maid's expressions matches an expression that she makes earlier in the game. So I was like, I've seen that. Oh my god, it's her! Like what? Like this is so not okay. And that just kind of led from there. And then the whole like the dynamic of that relationship moving forward is one of the weirdest. Like hey, you should be doing better in school. So master, how'd I do today? How do I look?
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh my god.
it's so out there that it's refreshing because it's the kind of thing where it's like I could never see this in another game. I don't play a game where this kind of thing could even happen. So it's fun seeing that kind of happen in front of you in this game. It's been fun.
That makes
but anyway,
sense.
she's awesome. I like her character. I think she's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Also,
I went with Hot Dr. Punk. That was my
Legs.
love until I decided to forgo monogamy.
Oh man, I'm really liking Makoto, dude. I was not aware that there was going to be a character that's basically like a personification of Dark Souls. I think that's awesome. She has like the night mask and the spiked shoulder pads, and it looks like she's wearing armor and stuff. She looks like a Ghost in the Shell boss. Like I absolutely love it. So she's been pretty cool so far. But
yeah,
the whole thing's just been fun. It's just like somebody told me in chat, like, would you recommend the game? And and what do you think about it and stuff like that? And I told him, first of all, that I was really glad I tried it because it was not what I thought it was going to be. I also try to make the point that playing it and watching it are two very different things. Because there's a lot of depth to the game that you don't really see from watching it unless you watch it for hours and hours and hours and hours, which a lot of people do, but like I would never have the time to do that. So because I only saw little bits and pieces of it, I got an idea of the game that really wasn't it. I thought it was it had a lot more of like a facade to it and not a lot of depth or mechanics. But then I played it, and it was actually like the opposite. Like the more you look into the stuff, the more you look at like the persona chaining and the growth system, and the way you can fuse things together and then move abilities over, and then you can grow them certain ways. And there's all this stuff to it that I can already tell I'm not even going to scratch the surface of.
Dude,
and that's been really
played
cool. So
217 hours, and there's still like so many personas that I did not get because there's so much like. Well, I didn't look anything up. Was the other thing. Like, I just like made new things when it came up. It was like, hey, you got this thing and this thing. You can make this thing. But I never like looked up like min-maxing and that kind of shit. So I just like kind of let the personas reveal themselves as you make like bigger ones by combining things and stuff like that. But I could easily just flip on my PS4 right now and go back and just look up the fusion chart and just go through and like try and like spend hours trying to get all of them.
Yeah, according to GameFAQs, there's 191, not including DLC or party member personas. So that's a decent
and there's
amount.
a ton of DLC ones too.
Yeah, there's
a ton of DLC ones.
225 or 215 or something like that total, I think. Yeah, there's a lot.
Pretty crazy, man. Yeah, it's the Persona in general. This is my very first Persona game, and something else that's been really nice is the whole gameplay loop is very unique. They're like when I know it's a JRPG, and there's certainly aspects of it that are traditional JRPG, like the palace exploration and some of the turn-based combat, but tying that into the social game between palaces and then having the Mementos Endless Dungeon mechanic and tying all that back into like the confidant systems and how to manage your time, and it almost feels like a combination of like a JRPG and Stardew Valley. It really does. And
time management is the killer, man. That's what like tacked on 100 hours of playtime. Was just be like, okay, every single day was torture for me because I'm like, God damn it, I've got 5 people to hang out with. Who do I want to hang out with today? I only get to do it once, and there's day and night. So you're like, these people will only be available during the day, and you got 5 choices. You're like, fucking God damn it.
That kind of gives me anxiety just thinking about that, man. I don't know if I like the structure of that.
Well, the good news, and honestly, when I first started, I think the word is overwhelmed. And I felt the same way. When you have like one person you have to meet and 2 of them say up next to them, but you also need to get like it's before your exam, so you need to study. Like there's all this stuff going on. But it's funny because that's exactly how I felt every day in Stardew Valley. Like you get up, you do an account. Okay, what can I do? Then it's like, okay, what do I need to do? Yeah. And then it's like, okay, what am I gonna do? And then you have to like do that every day. But that's what I do. Like every day, I sit there in my room for about 5 minutes. I look at the calendar, and then I look at the map, and I see who I can work with. And I ask Chad, okay, what did I say that I was gonna do today? Okay. Is it raining? No. Okay, is there pollen? No. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's day and night. It's a Thursday, so I can't. It's Friday. I can get the yakisoba pan, but then let's see. Monday and Thursday, I can go to the medicinal bath, but it's not raining, so I'm not going to get the charm. But I can go to the diner, but it's not raining there either. Oh man!
Welcome to my last month.
Yeah.
Oh, my lord. Yeah.
Zeke, we haven't really.
It's so good, and Stardew Valley, like the time management shit is like the comparison to Stardew Valley is very, very good. It just, you have so much shit to do and so little time to do it. You can't do everything. You can't even do like, some days you can't even do like a quarter of what the things you want to do. So you got to remember, like, there's certain things you like do every day. It's like every day I'm going to go do this thing and then this thing because they don't take any time. And then this thing because I know it doesn't take any time. And this thing is only on Sundays. And this thing's only when it's raining. And but it's so satisfying when you feel like, man, I used my time wisely that day.
I paid the maid to do my laundry. I got my my drink from the place. I got my stats up there.
Got the Sunday juice.
So yeah, it's good, man. It's good, and I definitely am enjoying it. So and
do you
people ask me, am I going to finish it? And the answer is yes. I'm planning on finishing it for sure.
Good. I wasn't sure if you would. I wasn't sure if you just get I don't want to say bored, but like get just, you know, I've seen the time management shit. I'm not going to continue on with this game or whatever. But then I totally forget that you love that kind of shit. Like that's you. I mean, you love those like Stardew Valley and like, you know, management shit. That's right in your wheelhouse. So like, of course he's going to finish this game.
Dude, not only that though, but it gets deeper as you play it. Like they do a really good job of making the game bigger and bigger and bigger. Like I've been playing 40 hours. A brand new location opened up like 3 days ago. Awesome. Oh, and now I can fuse 3 personas. Cool. Oh wait, now I can grow them too. What's this jail thing? Like it actually makes it so. What's up?
I never got this persona. I never got Kaguya.
She's DLC. I actually didn't make her because she has a move that's like insanely overpowered. It's kind of interesting because I'm avoiding a lot of stuff in this game, including this guy, because like some of their abilities are just game breaking. Like that Shining Arrows ability on the top left, 4 to 8, yeah, right there. 4 to 8 hits to everyone, light bless damage. It's just it doesn't even make sense for only 22 SP. So
that is
like, and if you look at the different DLC personas, some of the unique abilities they have are just completely out of this world.
Oh, okay. I never got into the DLC personas.
Yeah.
Do you have like a go-to favorite
for personas?
Yeah, one that you like. I always got to have this one.
Well, my big guy is the most recent one I got. My null physical null bullet guy, which is the something Ouija.
Cheeky Ouija. That's right.
Ouija.
He's my origami bro.
Yes, that's exactly.
I kept him with me for a very long time.
That dude right down there. But no, really, what I ended up having to do, because it actually was really screwing me up, is what I did was for most of the game, I was just trucking like, hey, oh, I like this ability, so I'll just hold on to that persona. Oh, I like that ability, so I'll just hold on to that persona. And what ended up happening is I had like 3 or 4 really good personas, like level 23 plus, almost 8 abilities that were great. But then I had all these personas that were like just weird random levels, like between 11 and 20, all over the map. And what happened was today I farmed for like a good 45 minutes for an hour. And then I cleared this entire floor and I have 1 fight left. And I've killed all the enemies but 1 guy. And I'm just farming him, right? Like I'm just doing my SP thing and farming him. And I cast a weakness ability on him that put on one of my low-level personas without me realizing it. And that one little mob turned around and crit me for every single hit point I had. Like almost to the point. And it was only my guy. Like I sat there, I don't think I said a word for like 60 plus seconds. I was just like...
I fucking love that too. You come up against something and you're like, you don't realize what weaknesses your persona has, and you're feeling like super big balls badass, and then they turn around and they're like, fire damage. You're like, fire damage.
And then it's like, wait, that was weak. Wait, he gets a 1 more. Oh god, that crit. Oh Jesus. Yep. And then the whole thing just instantly, like, and the best part was like I had been taking my time farming each one of like the 6 encounters up to this point, just completely throwing away time, skipping rounds to gain my SP back, just like complete waste of time. And then when I died at the end, I was just like, I think the color probably drained from my face. Like I was that just, but yeah, that was a hard lesson learned. So I actually ended up going back, and I think this is actually when I did it, right here. I went back and like sacrificed all my low level ones. And I really focused on like combining and making good ones. And now I have like 4 personas, and they're all just a level or 2 under me. I think one's even a level above me, and they all have 8 abilities, and they're all pretty good. And all their stats are 12 plus across the board, and that's been really helpful. It's been really helpful.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a very hard learned lesson.
Yes. No, you'll definitely find those ones that you'll take with you. There he is. There's my boy Shiki. That you'll take with you, like that'll be your go-tos, like for like a couple of palaces and trips to Mementos. Like I had like 3 things. I had like my personas that were like my damage, my persona that had all the weakness, like 7 of 8 weaknesses or whatever, like different, like the null or the nuke, fire, lightning, that had all of those.
Yeah.
And then I had my healer. Like that's the ones like I took and just lasted me for a very long time.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I've been doing similar, where like I almost treat my personas like different classes. So like I have one persona that has like light heal, heavy heal, all heal, 2 cures, a sleep, a confuse, and then like a passive that increases healing. And then I've got like my physical persona who's like super strong and he can do that. And then I have like my defensive persona and stuff like that. And I kind of bounce between them as I need to. But that's been really cool because I've talked to other people and they do nothing like that. And like chat will tell, like I'll do something and I'll be like, man, this is great. I just spent a lot of time making this Persona team and that's great. And then I look over in chat and someone has written a well-written paragraph on why everything I just did was wrong. And I'm just like, oh, you have a great point. That's a damn good point, isn't it? Well, back to the prison thing. Let's go. And then I'll spend another 20 minutes redoing my... my Lord.
And that goddamn aria that they sing in the prison is the only song in the game that I actually was like, oh God, please stop.
That song's from Persona 4 and Persona 3 as well.
I know.
It's everywhere.
Trust me, they told me right away.
Yeah.
As soon as I mentioned it, I was like, all right, this song is not, it doesn't feel like background music. It feels like foreground music. It feels like it's revealing something because that alto or soprano voice is piercing. It's it's not like, you know, when you're sitting in your room up in the attic. It's not like that background music. This is like, oh, you listen to my voice.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really just. It starts to get grating after a while because you spent a fucking long time in there.
That jogged my memory a little bit, but I don't quite remember. Can you one more time? What did it sound like?
Shut up.
God damn it! I wish I had the replay
want to say
thing.
That I saw that you spent way more time in Arsene than I think maybe anybody ever in the history of the game did.
Okay. I think it was. I think it was an elaborately well played troll. Is what it was, because somebody had been kind of hinting to me for multiple times throughout like the first 10 hours, like, oh, you're gonna want to keep our scene, man. That's like the main guy. Hey, I know you gotta summon him, or I know you gotta sacrifice him for the main story, but you can summon him back, and it's a super secret if you get him to max level. He's really powerful and good. And so I kept on like kind of stayed in the back of my mind, and then at one point I was going through my summon thing, and I was like, oh, let me bring our scene back, and I'll level him up. And chat was like, why would you do that? And I'm like, well, apparently there's a secret. And chat's like, what? Like, are you telling us this? Like, is this a blind playthrough? And I'm like, no, if you level up our scene, something happens, right? And all of chat's just like,
yeah, sure.
Which one of y'all told Ko that? It got kind of bad. So I ended up killing him. Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, jebaited. Exactly, chat. Jebaited.
Nice. Are you singing the songs off when you're done playing?
He's got them downloaded. He listens to them nonstop.
There's a difference between remembering a song favorably and then maybe thinking about it and then humming it a little bit. And then there's Persona 5 music, which forcibly interjects itself into your consciousness every 5 to 10 minutes for every hour you're not playing it. I'll just be sitting there I won't even realize I'm doing it. I'll be like, do, 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 do.
Your wife is just like, shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Find yourself like grabbing the bread and be like, I'll never see it coming. Gonna make myself
that sounds like a personal experience, Zeke, not a joke. It sounds like that actually
it's bad when you ask Alexa if she has Persona 5 music. That's when you know it's a problem. That's when you realize you have an issue.
Does she have Persona 5 music?
Play Persona 5 soundtrack.
Does she have it? Did she just say no?
But wait a second.
What? I don't know what's happening.
This might be it? I don't know. It's playing something. It didn't work last time I tried it, so.
Oh, we can't hear it.
Oh, this is like some weird dubstep. Alexa, shut up. What is that? No, maybe it's a theme song I haven't heard or something. But yeah, no, I don't think it works. Unfortunately.
Zeke, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find something.
Okay. Should we wait for you to find it?
No.
I mean, I'm putting the pressure on now. We're still talking about what you're doing, and it hasn't occurred yet. So this better be.
I don't know where I put the CD box, but someone actually got me the 3 CD. One of my chat sent me the 3 CD.
Oh, nice.
Soundtrack.
Nice.
Didn't you get
Very
the
nice.
CD?
Oh, I heard you have Ryuji's shirts.
Oh God.
I do. I have No More Rules. I have the No More Rules shirt.
Dude, I saw that shirt and had to do a double take. I was like, let me get this straight. This high schooler's going to school with a firing pistol on its shirt that says no more rules behind a blood splatter. I was like, you try to do that in the U.S. these days, you can sit home.
That wouldn't work.
Like that is damn.
Yep.
That probably wouldn't work.
There's some kind of hardcore stuff in there. Also, man,
someone also sent me a shirt with Morgana on it, saying, and it's just that speech bubble you get all the time. Like, don't you think it's time you went to bed? Like, aren't you tired? Why don't you go to sleep?
For real?
And I told the person I was gonna burn it and wipe my butt with it.
Uh-oh. Are you gonna wipe your butt and then burn it? Because that would the other way would be a little bit rough.
It's not. He said exactly how he
I'm gonna burn it first.
on fire. It's not even gonna be out yet.
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
That's how much I hate that cat.
Yeah, you're gonna inflict physical pain on yourself. Cole, what were you gonna say? Do you remember? Okay, good.
Nothing
Great.
important.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Zeke, you finished this game. Do you have any final thoughts on the personas? Or are you just kind of like, thank God it's over because that was a long game?
No, I mean, it's with any game that you put a lot of hours into, it's always bittersweet when it's over.
Yeah.
But I'm not like super well versed on JRPGs, and I was not made aware, thankfully, that epilogues are a thing. They're a long thing sometimes.
Yeah.
And
sometimes
Bill,
games just don't want to end.
When you think you're just about like wrapped up, son. I want to save you, Co. I want to say, put some time away for an epilogue, like an entire cast.
Yeah.
Fine by me. See, I played Persona for 9 hours straight yesterday. I skipped lunch. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, for some reason I made the commitment to stick with Zeke to see the end of the game, and it was 13 hours. So it was a long time.
I thought I was going to end it around 9 hours.
About,
13.
Yeah.
Because when you think you're done, and I still had probably another hour that I just kind of like didn't do.
Yeah.
Because I was like, fuck this. And by the time it was like 13 hours, just like, they're like, hey, don't forget. And I'm like, shut up. I want to forget. I'm just moving on. No, I will not. It's like, are you sure you don't want to? No, I don't want to. I don't want to do any of that.
Zeke, funny side story about that. That was on a Friday, right? That was last Friday, I think.
Yeah.
At like 10 o'clock. It was like 10 o'clock my time, which is 8 your time. I had told around that we would watch a movie. I was like, oh, hold on. Zeke's about to finish this game. Let me just see the ending. 3 a.m. rolls around, and I'm like, hey, it's fine. Oh, fuck, you're asleep. So the movie never got watched, to say the least.
No, I saw you in chat. Like you would chat every once in a while. Like you were with me on the attitude. We were sharing the attitude of that. Like,
yeah,
really more.
Man, I can't recall a game, but I've been in that exact situation where the game is basically over and you want it to be over because you've committed so much to it being over. And they're like, by the way, here's 2 hours of dialogue that, doesn't really matter too much to what's actually happening, but we're just going to have you play through it. And then chat's like, what are you doing? You're skipping all this fucking dialogue. What the fuck are you doing? And they get mad at you. And you're mad because you've been casting for so long. And so nobody's happy. Nobody wins. It's just a bad time across the board.
No, I mean, there are definitely moments in the epilogue that are fucking well worth the wait. For sure. But it's just, it's so long. It's so long.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it was Metal Gear Solid. It might have been one of the Metal Gear Solids. Although the ending to Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah, you were saying Metal Gear Solid 4. Someone was saying Metal Gear Solid 4 that had like the worst ending. And I was like,
it's pretty
oh,
good,
really?
though.
Well, I don't know. Let's and like hour and a half later, it was like, I take it back. This like is the longest like.
Yeah. Yeah. It was long.
Yeah.
But whatever. Game's over. I'm sure Code, this is not going to dominate your weeks of casting, right? Like you're going to splice in some other games, or are you just mainlining Persona for the next couple of weeks? You're not sure yet?
The plan right now, tomorrow's another all-day Persona, and then Friday, morning I start Monster Hunter. So I'm gonna do Monster Hunter in the morning, and then probably Persona 5 in the afternoon, or Monster Hunter all day. The thing with that is going to determine it for me is I don't know how much I'm going to like Monster Hunter. I really liked what I played in beta, but to be honest, when you're playing like the thing that I'm a little bit worried about Monster Hunter is I feel like I might do like 10, 15 hunts and then just kind of be like, I feel like I've seen it all. But of course, I've never played a Monster Hunter, so I don't know. So because I don't know, it might be a Monster Hunter like a couple days in the morning and then back to Persona 5. Or maybe I'm going to do Monster Hunter all day for the next 5 days because it's amazing. I don't know yet. I don't know. So this is a good month for kind of malleability because there's really not a lot of other things out.
Hey, same for
the only
February,
kind of
dude.
Right now. What's up?
Same for February. Like February is pretty light in terms of big games.
Yeah, and there's also another game I've wanted to check out called Slay the Spire. That looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, let's actually.
I'll be talking about that today.
Yeah, let's talk about that now because I'm curious just as Co is. I might actually play that today depending on how well you sell it today. So we'll see. What is Slay the Spire besides everyone that's played it likes Hearthstone and I hate Hearthstone. So tell me why it's not Hearthstone.
It's not like Hearthstone.
Okay, tell me why it's not like Hearthstone. That's what I want to get.
Because you actually like fight monsters.
Okay. I mean, that was quick enough, I guess.
No, it's deck building. So like anything with deck building is going to be compared to Hearthstone. It's like just kind of, comes with a territory.
Right.
But I really enjoyed it. I played I did one like 3 hour. It's at the end of my first.
Yeah, I found it.
There it is. Yep. It's fairly simple to pick up and learn. I mean, see that one cost. I have 3. See that 3 out of 3. One cost for that. It does this thing. It does damage. Tat. That one does block. You get blocked, and then you just move along and you accrue more cards and accrue more relics, artifacts. I can't remember what they are, but artifacts are like things that are always with you. Like
perks.
Yeah, perks. Basically. Artifacts are like perks.
Okay.
So you take it with you, like one of them will give you like this artifact will give you 5 block at the start of every turn or something like that. And you just go through it, you get cards as you win. You can pick from 3. Usually it's like they give you a choice of 3 cards you can pick. There are like stations along the way to the you're like going up a spire to like a boss fight, and you can pick your path. There's like 4 diverging paths, sometimes they intersect and that kind of stuff. But along the way you can see little icons for like you see that like that's like an elite enemy has horns, a regular enemy doesn't. Fire is camp, you can rest there, regain HP, or use the forge to upgrade a card. So if like a card says like play this and does 8 damage, you can upgrade it. Says play this now, it does 10 damage. So you can actually like take the cards you already have and make them better, or you can rest and regain HP. And there's merchants. So if you want to buy new cards or buy artifacts with the gold you accrue, you can do that. The top 3 slots with the like potions.
Yep.
Those are, you have 3 slots that you have consumable items. So there can be potions or like elixirs and stuff like that. You can either use them on the enemy or use them on yourself, like strength potion or a weak potion on the enemy, stuff like that. But I just like, it's super simple, super streamlined.
Okay.
And it's really fun because it's quick progression. Like battle, get out of battle, choose a card, on to the next thing. There are question marks on the map. I chose the path of like as many question marks as I could get because they're like little like choose your own adventure things like, hey, you fell in a trap. You're gonna take this many damage. Or hey, you fell in some goop, but in the goop there was a gem. Grab the gem. That's worth 300 gold. It's really fun, and it's not super duper complicated.
Is there?
How long have you played it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, JP.
No, that's fine. That's a quick answer. How long have you played it?
I think I played it for 4 hours, and it's a roguelike, so it's made to be played you get up to however far you can go, and then you play it again. Like I unlocked a character after my first playthrough. Like you unlock shit as you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's
So
only
So it's meant to be like beat it, come back, beat it again, come back, beat it again, like Binding of Isaac.
Gotcha.
Is it the kind of thing where every time you play it, there's like a meta component that gets more and more powerful to make your next runs easier?
I would assume so, but I'm not positive because I only played through it the one time, and it took the 4 hours to actually get to the end of the thing, and I got really lucky with cards and upgrades and artifacts and shit like that. So I actually went through it once.
That answers kind of my question.
Cool.
Then, like RNG is prevalent in this game, right? It's just like it is in Hearthstone, where you can draw cards that are going to be super good and draw cards that are just going to be awful in terms of the cards you get.
You pick all all of your cards, and there's a mechanic in the game where you can pay or you can pay to have cards eliminated from your deck. So you can have a deck size, however many you want. You can skip, like when they give you a choice of cards, you can skip it. You can say, I don't want any of these cards. I want my deck to be this size. Like see my deck at the top right, it says 13. I had a 13 card deck to start off with, or 12 or something like that. And by the end of the game, like I was just like grabbing every card I could. So by the end of my run, I had like 45 cards, and everybody was like, why is your fucking deck so big? How can you
I got a
draw
big
good
deck.
cards?
That's why I'm a man.
Yeah, my deck is thick.
Jesus.
It's a girthy deck.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I might check this out then. I've heard it's pretty difficult, at least later on. Is that not? You said you got lucky. Like, where would you put the difficulty scale on this? Does it ramp up? Does it start hard? Is it easy? Where are you at?
It got definitely more challenging by the end.
Yeah.
I had to stop and think harder about my decisions, like what I wanted to do, like what cards I wanted to play in which order, because there's definitely a card synergy that you start to figure out. And as you're going along, you're like, oh shit, this card would work really good with this card, but I need to have only attack cards in my hand for this card to work, and it's a really powerful card. But do I want to eliminate? And you start thinking about it, and your choices of what card you play at what time, actually start to matter towards like way more towards the end.
Okay.
But yeah, the challenge. I mean, it's definitely a good challenge.
Is there any sense of not necessarily tutorial, but does the game say like, hey, this is why you should do this, or this is probably a good idea here? Any of that? Or does it just kind of throw you in and you just start throwing cards out there?
No, the tutorial, it's just very basic. It's so gradual that when you get a new card, it's like one new card every time you win a battle.
Okay.
So you can read the card. And you're like, oh, that's cool. And then it'll come up the next time. So your deck is only one card bigger, but that card comes up and you're like, oh, I really like that, how that worked. And sometimes the same card will come up again. You're like, oh, I want more of these kind of cards in my hand because they're 0 casting costs and they do like 7 damage or whatever. Do
you get the the like equivalent of man he missed lethal when you play this game out of chat, or is it is that not the experience at all?
I'm okay with deck building card games, so I will know almost immediately after I play a card like, oh fuck,
right,
I should have done this. And then the chat inevitably would go like, oh, do. So I usually was able to catch it like when I made a mistake before the chat berated me for it. But yeah, there were definitely times when it was like, lethal. There's lethal right there. Lethal.
Okay. God damn it. All right. Well.
Hey, does anyone know why I didn't do lethal last turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, is there a reason?
Yeah.
that's
I could probably take
most passive aggressive bullshit.
Here's where I'm at.
Say.
Yeah, here's where I'm at in the week right now. I got 48 hours till Monster Hunter. All right, I could deal with this for 48 hours if I have to deal with chat telling me I missed lethal. We're great because then I'll never touch this game again. So it's perfectly fine. So I might.
There's no. The last thing is turn based, no time limit. So it's not like Hearthstone in that you can actually just sit and look at your hand and make sure you're doing the right thing. Okay. But it's like chess, with like. you're like, all right, let me move that pawn there, and then you're like, oh fuck, I tried to remind myself not to move my pawn there because of this.
Yeah, man.
Damn
But look, if you didn't take your hands off it, you can move it back. All right, you got the USCF
Sure.
rules.
Well, card laid is card played, as my grandma would say.
That's true. That's true.
But this is the map. See the question marks? It's like, ooh, what could that be?
And this is
the Shining Gold Idol, and then
Oops.
you have a choice. Do you want to Indiana Jones it, or do you want to just fucking leave it alone? Well,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
yeah.
I'm gonna watch you trigger this trap here real quick before we move on. Still early access, $16 right now on Steam. Slay the Spire. Apparently, Chad was saying that they're updating this like every week. They throw in an update. Do you know?
Not only are they updating it a lot, and in fact, a couple of people warned me that I may want to give it some more time to cook because of how quick the updates are coming. But apparently, there is like potentially hundreds of hours in this if you want it. Like there are streamers that have been streaming this game non-stop. Like they are billions levels of just hours and hours and hours and hours every day for week plus now. So there's a lot of time in here if you want it.
Huh.
So
Okay.
good stuff.
Uh-oh, you got the... You're going to take 20 damage? Can you... Is there... Oh, there's health potions.
yeah,
You already
man.
said that. There's already health potions, right?
Yeah, health potions, and you can heal at camp. You can either, and that's one of the beauty things is you have a choice at camp whether you want to heal or upgrade a card. So this game has a lot of different choices to make, which obviously I would like a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And there it is. Yeah, rest or smith. I rest.
Oh, and there's even like... not disabilities, but 2 weak. Weak is something I assume that's not HP, but can still like fuck with you, right?
Apply 2 weak means they will take or they will do 25% less damage. Like the enemies will do 25% less
status
damage.
effects. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, there are status effects. Yep.
Okay.
That is definitely a huge part of the game. Is
Cool.
status effects. Like I did a lot of vulnerability to my opponents because you'll do 50% damage, 50% more damage for like 1 round or 2 rounds or whatever. And you can like when you stack them, they don't add more. They just add more time to it.
Yeah.
So if you got like add 2 vulnerability, that means, and they already have 2, that means you have 4 rounds of vulnerability, not more vulnerability. But
Like
you keep it stacked up and you just whack them is great.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might check this out depending on if Sea of Thieves is a wash, a bad game. But the jury's still out. I think it just started today, so I don't know if it... I don't know. We don't have any thoughts on Sea of Thieves because none of us have touched it. I watched the stream for a little bit, but a little bit different than playing it. So yeah. Slay the Spire, $16 on Steam, still early access. Have they said... this just came out in early access, right? So there's probably no date for when they want to leave. Oh, game will be in early access for around 4 to 8 months. They've been working on the game for 2 years and believe that this is the amount of time to finish up the game with all the content and polish that they want.
You say 4-8?
4 to 8. It's kind of a big variance there, but yeah. $16. I might check that out today. We didn't talk about Subnautica last week, so let's talk about that this week. Because I know, Co, you finished it this morning. Oh, I got to build my rocket. I want to build my rocket after today. Zeke, what? Okay, yeah. Zeke, get out of here.
Since I'm actually one of the few that have finished it, I kind of would prefer not to talk too much about the ending.
Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about it at all.
Okay, good.
Just the fact that we can now finish it on stream. So
Yes.
yeah, I need to build the rocket today. I forgot that launched.
Have you started it yet?
Yeah. All I got to do is put on the tip of it, the one that takes the
cockpit.
Cyclops shield. Yeah, I guess that's the cockpit. Yeah, that was the last thing I did. But yeah, this game's pretty great. Did you expect to enjoy it as much as you did? Because I went in kind of like, this game's gonna be all right, and then I was like, oh shit, this game's 30 hours good. Like I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, Subnautica for me has been kind of an interesting experience because I played Subnautica back when I played The Forest for the first time. So I played this game back when there was no form of base building. Everything was buggy. It was a complete mess. And I revisited it multiple times throughout its development as well. In fact, when I completed my last playthrough, that was the 3rd time I had gone through the game and done everything there is to do up to that point.
Oh.
And I have to say, man, there are very few games that I've enjoyed as much as this on the third playthrough. And I mean, to the game's credit, it's been kind of nice that the fact every time I've played it, there's been a sizable amount of new content. Like the first time I beat it, there was no Cyclops. The second time I beat it, there was like a rudimentary Cyclops, and they had just put the prawn in. And then this time, obviously, like all the good stuff was there. Not only was all the good stuff there, but this was also the first time I played Subnautica where I didn't feel like it was early access. Like almost everything worked. Like, yeah, there are a lot of little tiny bugs and hiccups, but pretty much all the main functionality worked great. And in fact, there's a few things that worked so well. I was like, I can't believe that didn't bug. Like the first time I dropped into one of the last alien things. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that hasn't played it, but and I actually was in your stream when you saw it for the first time too, where there's like, you drop into this pool and it's just like, like what the?
Oh yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And so, I mean, overall, man, I have to say there's two things I absolutely love about this game. One is the fact that it's just insanely unique. Like, not only is it an underwater survival game, which there's not a lot of other things out there, but it's an insanely well-made underwater survival game. I feel like Subnautica is the kind of game where if there were copycats of it, it would just be like a no-brainer that Subnautica was the best, just because of like how they do the water, how it feels under there, how the ground and different biomes work together. Like there's a lot of stuff in here where it feels like this game has been in competition with other games, and it's been like continually adding and trying to beat other games, but there's just no other games. Right. You just keep improving it and making it better. And also the fact that not only is it an extremely well-made game, but to see how far it's come in the like where it came from to where it is now, there's a huge amount of passion in this project, a huge amount. And when you play it, you can basically feel it, which has been great. So it's a fantastic game, dude. I put this game on the same level as I do The Forest. And I don't even think The Forest is out yet. So I actually erroneously said like, yeah, you know, I'm super glad that this game came out of early access like The Forest was when I beat it. And chat was quick to tell me like, dude, Forest isn't out yet. Like they're still working.
Still adding to it. Yeah. Aaron loves The Forest. She plays that all the time.
Yeah. So it's both of them are like very big success stories. And it's just, I like your base, dude. I haven't actually seen that yet. And it's just been a pleasure to play them. If you're a survival games fan, I can't recommend Subnautica enough. It's the definition of an underwater survival game, and it's a fantastic experience.
Yeah, I echo everything, but with the caveat of saying there are parts that still feel early access to me. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but like some of the issues with like, we both have pretty good computers. Dare I say, like, kind of the best you can get right now. And there's times where I would just turn and be like 30 FPS. Oh, 20 FPS. Just like I'd look at a certain area or do something and the FPS would just tank. And that was like kind of jarring to the experience because for the most part, it's seamless. You're walking around at 60 to 70 and then, you know, you turn on something that you turn on like a HUD scanner chip and your HUD just lights up with all these things. And just little circle radial menus on your HUD drop your FPS down like 40. And you're just kind of like, fuck, let me go work through this lag and get this shit. Yeah.
The optimization is definitely something that they were still working on. They actually said that in, I think, one of their last dev things. They didn't think they'd have all the optimization that they wanted. And on top of that, also, the entire time, pretty much, this game has been out. Anytime you're around constructed buildings, like it is night and day how this game is if you have or don't have a base.
Yeah.
There's also a pretty bad bug in the game right now where if you notice, if you're really far from your base, you can still see it.
Yes. You can see the lights of it. Yeah.
That's a bug. Because what that's doing is it's keeping the base rendered and it's adding that to any work that you have to do anywhere else. So
that makes sense.
I mean, it's not a perfect game. There are definitely some things that can be worked out on it. There's also mine crashed once or twice. I had a weird situation once where like I got in my prawn and then I couldn't leave it or do anything in it, so I had to restart that. You know, there are little bugs in it. But the good thing is not only does it autosave relatively frequently, but every bug I ran into, restart fixed it right up.
Yeah, so. Most of the time, whenever it seems like, I don't know if it's official, but it seems like there's a memory leak. When I play the game for 4 or 5 hours, I'd need to restart it for it to feel like it was smooth again. I do want to get your thoughts on the idea of one of the things that I was constantly doing, and I was constantly irritated the entire time I was doing it, I would go look at something to build, and I'd be like, all right, I need this, this, and this. I'd close out of that and immediately forget what the fuck I just needed. I wish there was like a checklist.
Recipe?
Yes, exactly. I wish there was a checklist system. Yeah.
That's huge. Like what they should allow you to do is whenever you're looking at that stuff, middle mouse button pins it or unpins it to your UI. Yeah, that's something that they've talked about wanting to do, but they haven't really like had any good way to implement it from what I've understood.
Okay.
But I agree with you. And that happened to me so many times. It got to the point, especially towards the end, where I was just literally typing the ingredients out into my mod chat.
I had it in the notepad file on the monitor. Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, I need 3 plasteel ingots and 2 polyaniline, and I need to get more blood kelp. You know, like, so, yeah. But I agree. Having some kind of pin system would be nice. Not necessary, of course, but it'd be nice.
It's just a quality of life for sure. Go ahead, Zeke.
Do you think this game, because it is in VR, right?
You can play in VR. You can
play the game in VR, but when I played the game in VR when it came out, and it had a lot of major issues. It didn't control well. If you look at the game normally, there's this little rocking motion to it when you're just playing it, and that actually was still in VR. So you would be sitting still, and your VR helmet would have it so your character was doing this. And I remember just sitting there like it made me feel like my ground wasn't steady. It was very weird. However, here's the thing. I've only played this game in VR when it came out. I have, and they even said like, hey, we're just throwing this in. This is not like Subnautica VR. We've just turned on VR. So I don't know if it's gotten a lot better. Some folks told me that it still made them pretty nauseous when they tried it a week ago. But by the way, chat, this is a good time to mention this. Has anyone played it in VR and had a really good experience with Subnautica? Because I haven't really talked to someone who has yet. Not saying they're not out there. I just haven't talked to somebody who has yet.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I'd love to know if this is like if it's VR capable now and it's fun and intuitive and everything.
I'd also
because I got to admit, man, the idea of being in a sea moth and actually turning your head around and seeing a reaper come towards you.
See, that's the thing I'm talking about. Like on the PSVR like demo disc, there's like a deep sea like demo.
Yeah.
Where you go down in like a cage and it's like real slow. It's just meant to be like to show off what VR is like all about and stuff. And just that little bit was really, really cool, and like it got a little intense at times.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason why I would consider playing this in VR. But a couple of things: the seasickness might get to me, and it seems like a long game. And having a VR headset on for a very long time is not fun.
There's a lot of folks in chat are saying Burke tried it in VR and said it was still not ready. Azarillion said that he got seasick from doing it in VR. However, MW the Cool says spoke with someone on Reddit that had 20 plus hours in VR and they swear by it. So I don't know. VR is buggy, but once you fix the stupid initial issues, it's okay. That's kind of cool. May have to check it out again. Subnautica, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
let's look into that a little bit.
I think this game with VR would kind of be the strong words, but I think it would be kind of like a holy grail moment, because even just like driving the Cyclops right here, I'm doing it with my mouse, but being able to do that and like look at the different instruments or like reach out and touch things in terms of the different UI elements that you're seeing here, like that would be really cool. It would be really cool.
Oh, now that would be insane. I don't know if they have anything like that. Like that would be kind of crazy if it tracked your. I think you have to play Subnautica mouse and keyboard in VR.
It's more of an Oculus instead of a Vive situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can use like the 2 controller hands to move your hands around inside. I don't know though. That could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because again, I played it like when it was just basically a tacked on thing.
Yeah.
But dude, if you could. You could actually play it in VR with these being your hands.
Yeah.
So like right now in here, you would have to hold the steering wheel and like move. Oh,
it'd be cool, man. It'd be real cool.
That'd be insane, man. But I feel like that's years away still. I feel like that being intuitive is still years away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've done the Oculus stuff. It's still, the controllers still feel so floaty to me. Like, and I realize there's never going to be a tactile response. So, but I don't know, dude. I still have such major issues with controllers, and it just doesn't feel.
I think I read something.
I feel like there's a breakthrough out there that hasn't been broken through yet for that.
Well, I think I read something at CES. They're doing like like half-fingered gloves that have like vibration feedback or something. When you grip something, it will vibrate on the inside of it, or it'll vibrate on the outside of it, etc. So like that might be a cool solution.
Something else that I heard that was really interesting is they have wristbands coming out with electrodes in them.
Yeah.
And they're specifically designed to where your hand goes out of an area it's supposed to. It tenses your muscle. So you can't actually move your arm further than that. And apparently the people that have used it said it's very cool.
What if one of those malfunctions though, man? What if that stops working?
It's the same. It's actually the same technology. In fact, they use a band from one of those ones that you put around your arm and it just contracts your muscle, like one of the workout things. It's the same. It's the same premise. But it would actually like physically stop you from, or physically, it wouldn't physically stop you, but it would very much make it more difficult to move your hand in those directions. But then again, that does get a little bit weird when you're talking about putting electricity in your body for entertainment.
Yeah.
So
I'd love it if it was like a huge, like just a plot, just a conspiracy plot. Like they put them on you and you can't get them off. Like I want to take these things up, but I want ow.
Yeah. Just start sawing
and the guy
your hands
just
off.
leans in and he's like, if you think negatively of the straps, you can never take them off.
Yeah. Jesus. I mean, that would work for horror games for sure. There's a lot of different applications for it.
You're thinking about taking the straps off again, aren't you, Zeke? Well, we know what happens to naughty boys.
Right. That's another application of it, if you know what I'm saying.
Where's my mate?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I highly recommend this game. I did not expect to do so after playing it, but I need to go. I forgot about the rocket, so I'll do that today, most likely, and then maybe jump into Slay the Spire stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. Some of the things that I want to talk about are so end game that I don't think I'm going to. But I'll say this: I feel like the scary part of the game is the first 5 hours. After that, it's not scary. At least it wasn't for me. Like it completely went away, and some things that you see look kind of fucking derpy. Like so much so that I would see it and just be like, you look like an idiot. I would like walk up to it as close as possible to be like, God, you're really stupid looking. Just that type of stuff. So,
you know, I've actually been, for whatever reason, I have no idea, but I've been rewatching Planet Earth. Like they had Planet Earth and Planet Earth 2. Like I've been rewatching it on Netflix.
Yeah.
And like some of my favorite shit is like the deep sea, like things that are like they've evolved without eyes or they're blind because they just live in the dark depths of the ocean, and these giant like, you know, squids and octopuses and that kind of shit. Like I really want to play this game so bad right now.
You should. It's worth it, man. It's pretty good. It's a slow start though. Like the first couple hours of this game you're not going to be jumping into like crazy depths. You're going to be swimming around the shallows and trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, et cetera, et cetera. So don't expect like deep sea diving right out of the gate.
And I got to admit, JP, I went through that exact same thing pretty much, where it's like the first few times you see things, there's a visceral reaction.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to get away from this thing, or what is that? Or it's like, but then it's like, for instance, I think I saw you going to it. There's like a specific wreck down here that you can get into anyway.
Yeah.
Right into spoiler territory. But it gets to the point where if you cross paths with the same thing, by the 10th time you're there's not only no reaction anymore, but it's just become a problem to deal with. Where it's like, okay, is that guy close by? No, okay, let's kind of sneak around this side. You know, like there's no, and actually at the very end of the game for me, just like you did, I was basically messing around with him. Like, hey, I wonder what happens if I can mine his face, you know, and like just trying to like, can I grapple him? You know, it's like you're just having fun with him at that point.
Yeah.
Then again, you know, then you've got all the upgrades, enough resources to build 5 of the vehicles you're in. So, and you've seen it 10 times already. And so I think that's kind of, but also going back to what you said at the beginning, couldn't agree with you more. Like the first hours in Subnautica, especially now, I feel like people entering Subnautica now are like when we went into am I freezing?
Nope, you're good.
There we go. That was weird.
Yeah.
I feel like joining Subnautica now is akin to when we really hit PoE, where it's like PoE had been in development for a while, but like the game was realized at 3.0 and 0.1. And I feel that way about Subnautica now. Like if you've never checked this game out, or if it's looked sort of okay to you, now is definitely the time to play this game. It is those first few hours when you're seeing everything for the first time, and the first time you go deep enough to where everything around you is black, And the first time you see that Leviathan come out of the darkness, like those are moments you can't recreate. Like it's a magical thing.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes that like the list of people that play this game and enjoy it are people like DJ Wheat, who's scared of fucking underwater. He's probably the single most scared person of going underwater in video games that I know by a large margin. He absolutely loves this game. And potentially probably like one of the more FPS focused streamers that I know. Absolutely love this game. Shorty guy loves this game like a lot.
Sacriel?
Yeah, Sacriel, of course. Yes, that's a
Sacriel
great
tweeted
one.
out that it's like the best single player experience he'd had in years.
Yeah, but then he did a sponsored stream, so like, how much does that really? So I mean, yeah. Hashtag masterpiece kind of loses its hashtag worth when you go get paid to do it, you know?
Hashtag money.
Yeah, like that's a little weird to me. But anyways, he likes the game regardless. I mean, he seems to enjoy it on his stream for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, I think he was still hyped about the game before that.
I agree.
No, I
felt
just
kind of
I just
bad
like
because,
Pepsi better because they were the last person to pay me.
Exactly. Yeah. So you should try it, Zeke, for sure. And the other thing, you're going to get back, Zeke. You're going to get told what to do and how to do it multiple times, especially with how many people have streamed it now. It's going to happen.
But that's another reason why I kind of want to play it in VR.
Oh, so you don't have to see that?
So I'm not actually I'm not looking at the chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
But,
chat.
I mean,
We're not.
I
There's no
will
ad
definitely.
You're not getting paid for this. I actually turned down that event, and I still love the game.
Yeah.
So they didn't even pay me, and I still love the game.
I shit talk the game nonstop. when
We're
I
good.
play
Yeah,
it,
I could
so-
shit talk the game all day long.
Yeah.
They wanted to pay me. I said no, and I still absolutely love it. And I think it's a fantastic game, and you shall go buy.
I agree. It's great. Zeke, you should play this after you're done with Indie.
Yeah, dude, Zeke, are you going to play this? What are your plans
Yeah.
with this game? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, no, I'm in the middle of Indie Week where I've got Thursday, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of just indie games because I've neglected Indie Sundays for Persona, so I'm trying to do some catch up. So I'm doing just a whole week of nothing but Indie Sundays, and after that, then yes, definitely Subnautica is like top of the list
Nice.
of shit I
What you're
want to check
saying,
out.
Zeke, is that your schedule never saw it coming.
You never see coming, get bread. Gonna get
Right.
bologna, put it on my sandwich.
Jesus. Good Lord.
Oh, too easy.
No, it's
yeah.
seriously like the best music in a game, maybe ever.
By the way,
It's Persona. It's so good.
I've been meaning to say this since the Game of the Year show, and now that I've thought about it during the show, I'm going to bring it up because of you guys saying how much you're enjoying Persona 5. We're going to have a new category for the 2018 Game of the Year show, and it's going to be, we'll have our top 10. It'll be still, this games had to have come out this year, had to have been released in 2018, etc. But one of the other categories will be a top 3 of my favorite games that I streamed. That's the best way to get around that, because then we can put like Persona or Path of Exile or whatever, like your favorite games that you streamed in 2018. That's going to be a category. It's just the
Good.
best way to get
like
around
that.
that. Yeah.
That's good. That's real good.
Yeah. Because like, early access games, whatever, that's where they will go, is in that list for sure. We might even break that out to top 5, depending on how
That's
many games.
top 3.
So you guys-
Yeah. What's up, Zeke?
So you guys didn't mention this, but the people in chat are starting to say it like, how is the soundtrack of Subnautica like really good?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's really
okay.
good.
You didn't. No one mentioned
The
it.
soundtrack of Subnautica is so good that I contacted the guy that made the music, and I'm paying him to make me music.
Yeah, it's really good.
Wow.
It's
Like, and
Dope.
here's what's even cooler. If you buy Subnautica, you can go into the Steam folder in the Subnautica, and there is an OST folder. And every single tune by that guy, there's like 50 plus of them. Like,
Yeah.
if you have Subnautica right now, you should go to the Subnautica folder, open up. Do you have Subnautica, JP?
yes, I do.
I don't think they claim this music. So like there are some incredibly good tracks in there, like just hardcore EDM stuff, like Red Alert, Leviathan. There's a lot of really good stuff in there.
I will say though,
I have it right here. The whole album is right here.
Zeke,
by Simon Chilinsky.
the reason that the sound effects in the music work so well in the game is because it's not happening they happen when something happens in the game. It's reactive to
it's
what's occurring. Yeah.
What's the right word? It is a it's like an exclamation point.
Yes.
Like it's there to increase the experience. It's not there to get in your way or to like try to be its own experience. It's like an exclamation point on whatever's going on in front of you. And sometimes, man, it lines up perfectly,
creepy,
and it's so good.
You'll go into an area where it's like complete darkness, and then like you start hearing this like subtle EDM with like some bass behind it, and you're just like, oh fuck, why is it playing this goddamn fucking music? yeah, it's that type of situation. And dude, also that's just the sea noises that will happen off in the distance the entire time you're playing, like really add to the experience. Yeah,
that's the barbecue's over sound.
You should play Red Alert. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, I'll play it during the break. Yeah, I'll play it
awesome.
during break music for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Game's great. I don't want to show too much of what I'm playing here, but going out and like.
By the way, can I just say this? You blew through this game, dude.
I did, yeah.
Like I was baffled with how fast you made it through.
I got real lucky apparently with the drops. Apparently, I got my Cyclops on day 2. At the very beginning of day 2.
That's insane. Yeah, I got my Cyclops like on day 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And I worked towards it. Like it was not just like, oh, I'll just put this off. Like I was like, I need to get a Cyclops end game stuff. It took me like 5 or 6 days. My God. And then I come into your stream the day after the Cyclops. You already got your prawn made.
Yeah.
I was just like, Jesus, man.
It would have gone faster.
Slow down.
I spent. At one point, I was like, I'm going to move my base. I just can't. The base needs to be moved. And so I spent like 4 hours moving one thing to the other thing just super slowly and putting everything in the Cyclops and then moving it like 100 feet that way and going in, taking everything out. Like, for whatever reason, as someone who doesn't usually spend time building bases, I spent a pretty good amount of time building bases in this game. So
it looked pretty good too. I like that. It was a fun design. It wasn't just like a bunch of basic buildings next to each other. There was like definitely some thought into that layout. It looked pretty fun.
It's cool. It's cool for sure.
Is it going to be Subnautica month for me?
Yeah, it might take you. It took me 30 hours, and so it's probably like 50 or 60 for you.
It took me.
Right.
Hold on. My playthrough lasted.
Playtime is.
I've got 80 hours in it.
But that's because you played it in other times, right?
But I played it. I think I had about 30 hours before I started. So yeah, about 40 or 50 hours for me. And here's the thing: a lot of the stuff in my playthrough I had already done and seen before. So I could kind of get to places quickly, and I knew where things were, and I kind of got the gist. This could easily be a 60+ hour game for the right people.
Yeah.
Easily. Is there any dialogue?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Sort of. You read it.
Yes.
Yes, there are logs and there are even characters.
Okay.
Again, we got.
No, I'm trying to judge time because if I have to if there's non-voice acted characters, then I will.
There's maybe 200 lines of dialogue.
Now, to be fair,
you
can scan everything. And scanning things does give a little readable thing. Yeah. And I would frequently open that up and read them because here's the thing. The people that designed Subnautica, I don't know if they are biologists, but they certainly should be.
Yeah.
Because you read some of these things and a lot of the creatures in this game are exceptionally well designed. They basically take things from real life, evolutionary traits of real life fish, and then they kind of imagine what they would look like in this world. So if you scan a creature and it has 3 interesting things, it's translucent and it doesn't have a mouth and its eyes are big, you can go inside that scannable thing and you can read traits of this fish. Large eyes. Well, these develop because of this. No mouth. It doesn't have a mouth because it absorbs nutrients through its membrane skin. And then it goes into that. And almost every of the 50 to 90 creatures, I have no idea how many there are, has one of those little things.
I wonder if I wonder how many people out there that are in this industry say hey, what did you go to school for? Marine biology. What are you doing now? Oh, I'm making video games.
Yeah.
I wonder how many things what do you do? Oh, I'm astrophysics. What do you do now though? Oh, I make video games.
And that's so good. And think about that marine biologist because he's I don't actually study anything in real life. What I do is I take all the knowledge I've learned and I imagine new and interesting creatures based on what I know.
Right.
That'd be the coolest job ever. I don't know who at Subnautica did that, but that's really cool. That's
what I was gonna do. They put out they had their big Subnautica event thing launch stream last night, and they put out a cinematic trailer for it. Does that play when you boot the game now, Code? When does that play?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure, to be honest. A lot of people told me to watch it today. I didn't have a chance yet. If you want to run it, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna run it now. I was just finding it real quick. It's definitely pretty cool looking. This won't have audio.
I was told I have a quote in there, I think, or something. But
oh, really? Yeah, this is the cinematic trailer.
Do we have audio on this side?
I'm not playing audio at all.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. You should play it, Zeke.
This is the trailer?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, damn. No, I have not seen this yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, hey, this is what you can do with the game. I never got those like vertical pylons to work. I never understood. I guess you put a ladder in there. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but yeah.
Yeah. I kept trying to use
Just because you're under the water doesn't mean there's no gravity. You need a ladder to climb things, right?
Well, right.
Dude,
like that's zero G, right?
Yeah.
I put a vertical pipe from the bottom of the seafloor all the way outside of the water, and then I put on 2 giant glass rooms, and I put my bedroom and office up there.
Oh, nice. All the way up top?
Yeah, above the water.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
A lot of people build their entire bases above water. So you
yeah.
have like this
I saw
crazy
a couple
crawling. Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
I built a way station at like 1,100 meters deep. It's just like a stopping point for my Cyclops to refuel and like get all that. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. This is so great. It just,
I just want to, I want to build like at least like 6 little modules so I can so I can say pod 6 is jerks. Pod 6 is nothing but jerks.
you can name them
Blow
too.
them up.
You can name them Pod 6 if you want.
You can have an entire C-Lab 2021 experience where you just completely forget about your whole thing and just keep building until it all collapses in on itself. And then you can end your stream when everything explodes for maximum awesome.
Yeah. You could totally do that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Apparently my quote's in the gameplay trailer. Okay, it's not in that. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, the gameplay. Was that released last night as well, Chad, or was that already out? Gameplay, trailers, Subnautica. Let's see. Oops. What? Oh, this is from March 27th, 2016. So this is from a while ago.
Where my hoovers?
Yeah, that was some air horns. Oh, it was last night as well. I guess I was looking at the wrong one.
Cool.
Oh, well. Apparently
I don't
also...
know if you guys saw on the Steam front page, like when you open the Steam app or Steam desktop, on the front page, it's like, is that a huge spoiler? Like right on, like for Subnautica, like right there?
Not
I mean,
really.
look, I mean, you see that thing, you're like, why would you put that there? I mean, I want to meet this thing.
I'll tell you why. Because that was one of the original things they used to promote the game when it was early access.
Yeah.
So
Right,
this is the kind of thing that's been out there for years.
No, you have to. You kind of have to.
Well,
Also, I got to admit, can you imagine how many people look at that and are like, "What the like that?" That's a very eye-catching.
well, it might
No,
work.
I absolutely understand that, like why they did it, and it's very good for marketing to show like the size and scope of the game, but
It might work.
I would
work
like to have
against them, to
been
be honest.
surprised by this thing.
Honestly, people might see that and be like, well, I'm not fucking touching that game. I'll go watch a stream, though. And then load up Twitch.
What's definitely a little more spoilery is going through the screenshots. There's some.
Oh,
there's
really?
some stuff in there.
Okay.
There's some stuff in there that's very yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I mean, there are parts of this game you can spoil, but if I told you every single thing that happened in this game, it would account for 10% of the experience you're going to have in it. It's kind of like Persona 5. It's like what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, this game is all about the journey.
Yeah.
It really, really is. Like, again, I had just as much fun my third time as I did my first time, and 90% of it I'd seen before, to be blunt. So yeah, it's spoiler.
Were you guys saying that it won't work with the Vive? Because I have the Vive. That's it. Or PSVR.
I think it will, but it's not going to be a stand-up experience. I don't think.
I don't want to stand up.
I think it's just like you'd wear a headset, then use your mouse and keyboard. So you could try it. Like, I don't.
Okay.
Me and Co haven't. I never even tried it in VR, and Code said he tried it in VR a long, long time ago. So
I tried it.
I can't do that though because I have to look at my hands when I type.
that's true.
I'm kidding.
Use the nubs, dude.
Yeah, just use the knobs.
Your F
I'm
You
kidding,
could actually. You might be able to play that game with a controller. I wonder if it has controller support.
You know what? I think that is what I had to play it with when I did it. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Like an Xbox
I had to
or
do,
whatever.
I shouldn't talk about it because mine was so long ago. I have no idea what the state is now.
Okay.
We should bring in someone who's played it sometime.
Yeah, or Zeke, if you're gonna test it in VR,
That'd be even
definitely talk
better.
about it next week. Yeah.
we could-
Apparently, they're also planning to add more biomes after launch. An ice biome is apparently a popular plan.
Yes, an Arctic biome. I heard about that in DLC. I can't wait, dude. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know how that would. We'll see how they fit that in for sure.
New island.
Yeah,
That's actually what's really cool because before, in the old days, the tech wasn't there for the far range rendering. So what was really awkward is in the old days when you would go for like, well, this isn't really a spoil. Well, yeah, there when objects would load off very far when you're above the water. In the old days, you would approach it and it would like slowly load in, and it looked terrible. But now, if you go above the water, there's like these very clear clouds, and you can see them covering it. Like they basically did a curtain kind of thing, like what's behind the curtain with like this cloud stuff. So I'm guessing with the Arctic thing, they may just add in a new area and put a cloud in front of it, and you can maybe it's an iceberg that floated into the area, and then you can go like explore it and stuff like that. But we'll have to see. It's supposedly adding like a good amount of functionality and base stuff, but they've been pretty tight-lipped about it. Obviously, they're focusing on the fact that released yesterday.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a little bit until we get details.
For sure. All right. Well, we are due for a break. We still got Indie Sunday stuff, or Indie Week rather, to talk with Zeke, see what he's been up to in the indie world. There's some Nintendo news that I'm interested in talking to you guys about from last week. Ko hasn't even seen it yet, so I can't wait to get his old man views on it.
What's the name of it? The Garbo? The
Yeah, it's going to be a great, positive, happy experience talking about Nintendo's new thing with these two.
the new Nintendo Kappa.
Yeah, really, it's the Nintendo print money machine version 3.7 billion because that's all they tend to do over there. But anyways, we'll talk about that after the break when we come back with more Drop Frames right after this. We'll see you in just a bit.